Welcome to the Getting Sober podcast, and I'm going to call it every Sunday-ish. That gives me till Tuesday, right? That gives me a 2-day leeway. But, I mean, I haven't been able to contain my thoughts of excitement since Eddie Penis put it through the uprights. If you don't know what I'm talking about Eddie Pinheiro winning the game for the Chicago Bears in Denver. Huge. Everybody wants to call him Eddie Money. I think the body's not cold yet. The real Eddie Money just died. You gotta wait you gotta let him, put him in the ground for at least 6 months before you could just give his nickname to somewhere else. Eddie Dinero is good. I like that. Eddie Dinero, same little thing. Not stealing from a dead man. But I've been just calling him Eddie Penis because my buddy Scott in one of my fantasy football leagues, he drafted him and he couldn't think of his name, and he just goes, Eddie Penis. He drafted him like in the last round. So ever since then, Eddie Penis has been his nickname for me, and oh man, do I fucking love Eddie Penis. But more about football and Chicago Bears breakdown at the end of the podcast. Don't want to bore the people that don't give a shit about sports. I wanted to start off here a little crispy. Oh, actually, little warning. I got my fish tank. It's set up and the filter's going. So I will find out after I record this how bad it is. And if it's horrible, that you can hear the filter just... If you can hear that the whole time, then next week I'll record somewhere else. I'll figure something out. But let me know if the fish tank is annoying as fuck and if I need to relocate. But this week, I would like to start... I forget how I got on this. Oh, no. Dan Aykroyd was on the Joe Rogan Experience. And he's a nut job, I believe. He does believe in a lot of shit that I don't believe in. But he mentioned the Tinley Park incidents. He said it was in the 90s. Motherfucker, it wasn't. It was about... there might have been an incident in the 90s, but... Okay, we're going to get real here. I have two... I'm going to say UFO alien experiences in my lifetime. And I figured I'd just break them down here on the podcast. And, maybe you guys saw the same thing I did. I know you didn't see the second thing, my ghost story, but the first one was huge. So he mentioned the Tinley Park incidents, and now let me take you back. I'm probably in 5th grade, maybe 4th grade, and we're sitting on one of my neighbor's back porch, and it's a hot summer night, and we're all just chilling out there, hanging out. This is the first night I ever saw a UFO, and the first time I ever saw another man's penis. I'm going to say 3 inches from my face. We'll get to that later, though. So we're sitting out on the balcony, and all of a sudden we all kind of just noticed something. There's 3 red lights. Distant, up in the sky, east of us, over Tinley Park. We were in Orland Hills, Illinois. Go fucking use Google Maps. You can figure it out. There's also, they did an entire episode of, I believe, Ancient Aliens, or one of those History Channel alien shows on this incident. I'm telling you, I saw this fucking thing. 3 lights in a triangle formation, slowly rotating. Slowly rotating. Occasionally, one of the lights would flicker out and come back. Flicker out and come back. But it was just this triangle in the sky. And I'm telling you, they debunked 1,000 things that could have been in that episode of whatever, ancient fucking whatever. This wasn't ancient. This was like 2004, so... But maybe they've run out of things to lie about. But this was real. I saw it! This was the one thing that made me feel like, okay, maybe we aren't alone. Could I be wrong that was not an alien spaceship? Because that's all we saw, and it was probably 3 hours we stood back there and watched this thing just kind of spin. And it was fucking crazy. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I hope I witnessed something crazy that night, but logically, it probably wasn't. What I did see that night was another man's penis for the first time. Because I believe it was my sister's ex. I don't remember. But for some reason, I just had this hilarious idea to pants him with the idea in my mind that this man is wearing boxers. Well, it being a hot summer night, if you got a twig and berries, you understand that sometimes it's good to just wear a pair of shorts. You don't need anything else to keep it in space. You know, you're letting it breathe, you're hanging. And pulled down his pants, and there it was, just about 3 inches from my face. So that is my first ghost story, and the first time I've ever seen a man's penis in real life. So, 2, my ghost story. And I can't claim that this is another one that is just, I don't know, kind of ridiculous. The last, in December, I went on a road trip with one of my best friend ever, Michael Adriani. Funny guy, incredibly talented musician. We were a little drunk, but we weren't to the point that it was like we were wasted and we couldn't figure out what was going on, you know? We're in a hotel in Ohio, staying the night, coming back from New York. And the hotel room, they actually fucked up our room. Our room was supposed to be a double bed. Instead, they gave us one. It was like a suite. There was like a bedroom with 2 of those almost like those fucking like Western style tavern doors that swing open, but you know, like actual full doors. And we're drinking, we're being silly, and Michael, he's doing like he's doing impressions of famous people coming through doors. Like, this is what this person did. You know, he did Kramer a bunch of times. He did Chris Farley a bunch of times, and he just kept going back and forth through this door. We're both dying, cracking up, and then maybe about 20 minutes later, we decide, all right, time to go to bed. And pitch black in the room. All of a sudden, I hear the door that he kept coming in through shaking, like a... And in my mind, I'm going, okay, he's not done yet. He's about to come out this door. He's got one more impression to tell me. And then all of a sudden, from the other side of the door, from his bed, I hear him go, "Are you about to come in the door?" And I'm like, "No." And we both freaked the fuck out. We both are like, what the hell did we just hear? We searched the entire bedroom. There's no vents there. There was no window open. There was no airstream. There was nothing that could have moved this door. Now, is it something paranormal? I can't say that. Did it happen at all the rest of the night or before that happened? No. So my impression is, and I believe he came up with the same theory, is that this ghost wanted to this ghost wanted to make his Cosmo Kramer door entrance look bad. You know, he really wanted to upstage my good buddy. And I don't know, man. It was a very eerie feeling. It was like that there was something else. There was another presence in the room. And like I said, I could just be a fucking idiot. But I know both occurrences could be debunked, but they're my personal experiences where I'm like, maybe there is something else. And I would love to hear if you guys have had any, something that's made you go, huh. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of shit I love. I don't know what reminded me of this next topic, but I guess I just want to have embarrassing childhood stories. First, I'll, pants somebody and got a cock in my face, and then number 2, third grade, Mr. Sorensen. Al Sorensen Art. I think his first name was Al. Either way, go fucking check out this guy's art. He's been commissioned by like professional athletes. He painted this beautiful mural in our, elementary school back in the day. And enough about him. It was third grade. He was my teacher. And he was always so cool, and I kind of, believe it or not, I was a little bit of a troublemaker in school. Maybe I didn't do the status quo. Well, one day, apparently, I said the F word on the playground. Big deal now, right? I fucking say it all the time. Well, then I thought saying the F word on a playground at a school, and then the teacher's screaming at me. He was yelling. He was a sweet man. He was, he let me get away with a lot. But this one, he was like, no, you're going to go. You have to call your mom on the phone. And I just remember calling my mom on the phone. He's like, you got to tell her what you did, all this stuff. Just weeping like, oh my God, weeping. Little third grade self. Now I would have told him, like, go fuck yourself. That's because I'm an adult. Who are you impressing, Jimmy? What, yourself? You trying to make yourself feel better? What the hell's the matter with you? You get what I mean. But I'll never forget that the one day I decided to cry in front of everybody in the classroom was the day that I wore a shirt that said, tough guys wear pink. And it was this bright pink t-shirt. And I was so excited to wear that shirt. I love the color. And I was... Looking back on it now, it's hilarious to me, but I thought it was so ironic that the one day I decide to be a little bitch in front of everybody is the day that I wear a tough guys wear pink t-shirt. I gotta get one nowadays. It ain't a lie. Although now, I mean, everything's obviously different nowadays. 15 years ago. God, is that 15 years ago now? How old are you in third grade? Like 9? 8 maybe? Something like that? I gotta Google that. Let's see. My fucking mouse always changes its setting. I got a gaming mouse, and it'll revert back to the default settings. I gotta like flip through to my color setting. Okay, how old are you in third grade? 8 to 9 years old. Okay, so I hit it right on the head. I just remember Mr. Sorensen was always my favorite teacher because he always did, like, he was just fun, We always did, like, trivia, and I dominated trivia. If there was one thing I was good at was pointless trivia. I may have not passed a lot of tests. I may have not did my homework, but I dominated at fucking trivia. And he would give out these tickets, and I always had the most tickets in the class, and at the end of the semester or whatever, you could turn them in for prizes, and I always got the top fucking prize. These are my accomplishments in life. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to Harvard. I got the most trivia tickets against a group of third graders. Look at me now, Mom. Shit. All right, let's I guess let's talk Bears. I want to first say that... Oh, no. Before we get into the Bears. This just happened to me. I was coming home from downtown working. I was, if you're familiar with the city of Chicago, I was on Cicero, just north of Midway Airport, maybe about a half a mile north of Midway Airport. There's a Sitco, and it's 3 lanes of traffic. I was all the way on the left, and I just all of a sudden I wish I got this on video. It was the coolest thing since I saw that crackhead in the first episode knock over that newspaper stand. There's a car pulled into the pull-in of the Sitco, door wide open, and 3 dudes just beating the shit out of each other. I don't know who was fighting who, or if one of them was trying to break them up. And with the door wide open, was this road rage? Was this somebody that just pulled some guy out of his car when he pulled into the parking lot and just started fucking wailing on him? But they were so... If you know the area, that is one of the busiest areas in the city of Chicago, just north of Midway Airport. People trying to get to 55, go north, go to the city, go south, go back to the burbs. It's so busy there, and I'm just waiting for these fucking 3 dudes to fall into traffic. They're fighting right on the curb. Oh, I gotta say, it was fucking cool to watch. I was like, hey, look, it's some assholes beating the shit out of each other. It makes you feel good about yourself. You're not ripping people out of cars, just taking your anger out. Because I have no anger, because segue back to what I was talking about, the Bears. Oh, Eddie Penis. I think I went over the Eddie Penis thing at the beginning. But long story short, the dinero, the Eddie money, it can't happen. He's Eddie Penis thanks to Scott Dugan. I love that man. Here's my theory on it. It's starting to come... Mitch is probably going to go off against the Redskins on Monday Night Football. The Redskins haven't won. I thought it was something like they're 1-17 in their last 18 Monday Night Football appearances. Like, that's horrible. They're already a horrible team. The Bears defense is going to be dominant. I think this is a game where Mitch can get a little bit more confidence under his legs. But let me bring that to my next point is, when are we going to get to a point where we realize that this guy is good with his legs? And I understand that you have to minimize plays with a designed quarterback run play, but it's coming to the point where Mitch doesn't have any other options. And I'm not setting anything in stone at Mitchell Trubisky's quarterback. Quarterback says, "What the fuck do I know?" But what was shown in the first 2 weeks, he's not good at it. But what he did do was in that fourth quarter, in that final drive, if you go back, he used his legs. He stepped up in the pocket. He got away from pressure. And then he sent it down. Was it Allen Robinson, I think, that caught it? Either way, also, I don't think there was 1 second left on the clock. I think the Broncos kind of got hosed. But long story short, he throws it down, and then Eddie fucking Penis comes out. And he splits the uprights. And every Chicago Bears fan just... you felt this sigh of relief. And I don't know. I almost felt like I knew he was going to make it. Like, I just felt confidence in this kid. And he was so pumped. Absolutely pumped after he put it through the uprights. I mean, who wouldn't be? But yeah, that's... the defense came out again. Played phenomenally. There was way too many flags. There was definitely calls against both teams that weren't flags. I think they were overcorrections to Big Dick Nick down there in fucking... Was he in Jacksonville now? He got injured? Yeah. Jacksonville. I think it was just overcorrections to that. They're like, hey, we can't, they weren't penalties. They weren't roughing the passer. You're just sensitive after somebody just got hurt. But yeah, that's my breakdown. But now let me break down fantasy football and how I made myself look like an asshole. We were set to tie in one of my fantasy football leagues, so I go into the group chat and I just go on this tirade about how ties are bullshit, about how our scoring system is archaic, and that I'm calling for a vote to change to get to decimal points, like a sane league. And you know what happens? Le'Veon Bell fumbles the ball. And I lose 96-92. I made myself look like such an asshole, and we didn't even end up tying. Which is worse is that we fucking lost. My fantasy football team. Alright, I'm the coach, alright? I'm a part of it. Long story short, I fucking hate fantasy football ties. I think it's the bane of my existence, and I think the commissioners that put them in their league should be eliminated. I've decided. Oh, jeez. That's the podcast for this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I love you all. If you haven't yet, if you can subscribe, maybe hit that bell on YouTube, all that good shit. Give me a thumbs up. If you liked it, give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Hey, I'm a big man. I'm a tough guy who wears pink. Sure, you're gonna thumb down my video. I'm gonna cry like a little bitch, but I'm still a tough guy. All right, that's podcast for this week. I'll see you next.